Good afternoon everyone. So today we're at a Nissan X-Trail SVE. This is a 2003 model, so that makes it a T30. It's a T30. So the customer's complaint with this, it's a long history of going into limp mode, and they've changed the ECU twice. I think you can see that line there in the passenger seat. And they've changed the throttle pedal with a remanufactured one, then eventually a new one, and it still goes into limp home mode. So I'm doing a scan on it. As you can see, it's very slow for its age, but I'll let you see the engine. So this is the 2.2 diesel, and I can't see anything untoward, just having a quick shimmy around the thing. So the guy contacted Roddy to say this is an unfixable car. I think it's been to 5 garages or something like that, he said. So we'll see what the codes reveal, but you think if it's had that replaced and the ECU replaced, you're maybe looking at a wiring issue within them. The other thing I remember on these Nissans that were bad were the timing chains. They used to jump, but this one seems to start okay, so when you think of that, although it is a bit reeky. Right enough, it's a bit cold here today, but let's wait for the code scan. Time to wait for the code scan. So the best way to do this is, rather than stay in this topology, which is useful for diagnosing circuits, that kind of thing, or CAN communication, just jump into the system list and you get the drop down menu, so you can see it's complaining about the engine. A P0120 Accelerator position sensor. So let's see if we can enter into that without, maybe need to wait for it to stop right now. We'll just wait. That's it, finally done its scan, so let's go into diagnostic. So it's just exactly the same as we said, accelerator position sensor. So then let's go into, we'll just click it, enter into that. So what we want to look here is, we know the code, but maybe have a look at freeze frame, see when it's happening, that kind of thing. So read fault code. There's not much there, is there? Read data stream. ECM input signals, go for that. So accelerator position, accelerator sensor 2. I think he even said they changed the throttle body. So we definitely know what that. Crank, mass, start signal, barrel. I think that's only 2 we want. So we'll graph these two. And with the engine running, we'll just give it a blip at the throttle. Oh, you see that? I'm hitting the accelerator, and I'll keep you on the rev counter. That's foot to the floor. So that's foot to the floor as well. My goodness. Oh. So there's no much happening there. We can see that we're going to 5 volts. They're both going to 5 volts. One starts slightly lower than the other, but usually with a system like this, they're usually the inverse signal of each other, or one slightly lower than the other, but I've never seen them that close together. So let's stop the engine running. Let's go back. No, we'll just go into that again. We'll graph it again, and we'll just do it slowly. I mean, this, to me, this graphs. So there we go. Press. That looks picture perfect. I come back down again. Looks okay. So what we'll do, we'll go back into the code. In fact, what we'll do is check OBD first. Let's go a bit of paste. Let's see what else we have. I think they're all just repeating themselves. I'll put my little machine on it, see what OBD reads. So I've connected my little scanner to it, and I don't even think that's reading it. Or is it detecting it now? maybe just too, oh no, it's maybe just too old for this tool. So let's go OK. Maybe just try OBD in the bigger tool. So that did not work. I tried generic OBD on that little tool and this one. None of them will communicate with it, so it's back into manufacturer's information. So we'll just cancel that out of that. I think, yes. And the quickest way to get back in here, if I can remember it, we go into, is it history? Maybe no history. Alright, Roddy. Is it user information? And then we go into I can't remember. Can't remember how I done it before. Library, try library. There's no library. Try to find the quick way to get back in it. We'll select it the normal way. So we went back into it, and the fault code is still there. Right, so accelerator position sensor. So we'll come back out and we'll clear the fault code and let's see if it stays there. Then we know we've got a hard fault. Right, so read fault code. Ooh, bang, it is not clear. So no chance of clearing that. Let's clear it again. Clear fault code completed, OK, read fault code. Now let's try and see if she revs up now, even though it says it's not cleared it. No. So we cleared the code and it stays there, but even after clearing the code, if we put our foot to the floor, no change, it's exactly the same. So we need to go to the accelerator, but we're also thinking it could refer to the throttle body. Let's see. I've seen that on a Ford. They think it's there, but it's actually the throttle body. But this has maybe not got a throttle body on it. But it's got an air mass meter. And would this diesel have a throttle body in it? No. Why would a diesel need a throttle body? No, really, would it? It can consume as much air as it wants. No, there's nothing on this, my man. Thing is, we're dealing with an early machine here with codes that can be a bit sporadic and. What's that down there, lad?
Two pipes.
Oh, they're leaking now. Aye. Funny thing. We've got an EGR valve. Alright. I don't care what that is, my man. No. I think we'll just go after the accelerator pedal position. And the best place to get it probably is at the ECU. So I think the ECU is in. That kind of looks like it in there. Hopefully. We'll take that out and have a look. So we've disconnected the pedal. The wire's a bit tight in here. Oops. So it's 8 pins. And if you start the machine, it revs up quicker. It actually went up higher the last time. So the guy kindly left a wiring diagram because we've been at it for ages. So we've got all these wiring colours. We need to work out what one it is. So we think. So is that B16 Roddy there? B16, that looks like coming off the pot. B16? Aye, so it's the third wire in for the right. So that's coming off the pot, and then another one, is that B15? B15 and 16 are the output, and the feeds must be we can't read, we've not got our glasses today. A28, blah blah blah. And there's a switch, there's a switch in it as well, see that you point to it there. Oh, had it the other room? Aye. So that's a switch, there's a switch in this pedal, through that circuit, 2 potentiometers, and there must be 2 feeds and 2 grounds. I think it kind of tells you. We'll wait to do the F2. B16 is a green wire, and B15 is a white wire, so we'll just go after green and white, see what they come up with first of all. Then we can see later on if that switch changes state. So I've brought it through there and I'm running along this with my old trusty power scope, because see that power probe I bought a few weeks ago, it's broke down, it ain't no working, so it's going back to eBay. So let's watch this. So this is unloaded. I'll put the light off. So the first one we've got a ground. The next one we've got 5 volts. That's the tab at the top, by the way. The next one we've got 0 volts. Next one we've got 7.8 volts. That's funny. Next one we've got 0 volts. Oops. Next one we've got 0 volts. Then we've got a ground. And then we've got 5 volts. So I don't know what way this thing reads. But at least we've got a couple of 5 volts and a couple of grounds. And the only one that looks suspicious is 7.8. So I think we could feed. I think that must be, the third one for the right must be a signal return. And the third one for the left must be a signal return. So let's feed that something up there into the scan tool and see what we get. So I went back into it. And look, this is quite funny. It's saying now no DTCs detected, and that's with the thing disconnected. So let's start her back up, see if she rings. So it jumps immediately to 2K. We'll read fault code, nothing. Look at our data stream. Okay. Graph that. So it's not showing any voltage at all, so it knows it's no there, but it's no setting a fault code. No. So, okay, let's see what we've got under actuation test. Well, here we go. Accelerator, off accelerator position signal. Waiting for your operation. So let's plug it back in and perform this. So I've plugged it back in. Let's see if the code come back immediately. Let's see, so we'll read fault codes. So when it's back in, it does not like it. When you disconnect it, the fault code disappears. So it's definitely down there is the problem. So read the data stream again. Suspicious. Hey, suspicious. Only 0.04 volts between the two. That's not right, I didn't think. No sure right enough. Anyway, so come out of that. Come out of that. Go into actuation test. Off accelerator position signal. There's nothing else there. So it says waiting for your operation. So we'll press the pedal. So see by looking at that, does that not know that the pedal is at its idle position when it's up? Start her back up. So I'll do that again with the engine running. We have no change there. So it's like that. I didn't want to speak too soon, but it's like that 7.8 volts is suspicious. So with this plugged back in, you can see we go to 0 volts, and then if we press the switch, it goes to 7.9 volts. So this is maybe is normal, I'm not sure. 7.8 volts seems funny. So that's grounding out the signal, then that's loading up the signal. But if we then start it, we then go to 9 volts, which is even stranger. So I'm tempted to feed that thing 12 volts and see if that clears our code. Or maybe we could feed it 12 volts through a bulb. So that's the idle switch. So you imagine when it sees 0 volts, it knows it's at idle. Is it no rising up enough? But then again, I'm maybe barking up the wrong tree, I'm not sure. It takes so long to rev up. That's strange. So even with that Mac in there, on off, I still can't complete this operation here, waiting for your operation. But if I hit clear, it then goes completed. So that says off accelerated position signal. No sure. So what I've done here is, I'm into that wire that feeds the switch. So I've put in my little test light and I've ran my power probe into it and I'm giving it 12 volts. So if I press and hold that, Gus, would you do that for me, my lad? You press that and get 12 volts, man. Like that? No, just up here, just put it forward. And you can see the engine note change, right? But if I switch it, you just keep the 12 volts. If I switch it off, put it back on. Oh, I did clear the fault. Wait now, we'll go in, we'll read the fault codes. We'll go back, we'll clear it, yes. And Gus is getting that 12 volts, read fault code. No, and we'll start her back up. I can now rev her. So we've got a wiring fault, there's a 12 volt feed, it's now down to 9 volts. And it must come from the ECU at that side to here, so. It's a bit dark now, so we'll do it in the morning, but there we go. And if we go back into codes, quite happy with that. Oops, sorry, put the light off. So we'll look at the wiring in the morning.